As a referral source, you will have received an electronic package of documents to guide you through the transition to school process. Please take the time to review each document before completing a transition to school sharing consent form. We're going to review the steps to completing the form. Step 1, review the criteria sheet to determine if the transition to school information sharing consent form is needed. Step 2, arrange a meeting time with the parent guardian to complete the form. This can be a virtual platform or a phone call when social distancing measures do not recommend face-to-face visiting. Step 3, become familiar with the form. It's found on the SNRC website. It can be viewed in its entirety before actually completing. Step 4, complete the form with the family. Step 5 is a brief explanation of the flow of form submission. The criteria sheet. Step 1, reference the protocol for children with complex needs to determine who is the referral source. If you are indeed the referral source for the child, review the criteria sheet to determine if the child meets the criteria for the protocol for children with complex needs. Consider the severity of health concerns, adaptive functioning, communication, and safety. If you're still not totally sure if the child presents with complex needs, talk with other professionals involved, speak with your supervisor or manager, and work together to make that determination. Always remember, a Kids Ability School referral is considered meeting the criteria for a complex needs. If it's determined that the child does not meet the criteria for a complex need, you can still connect with the principal at the receiving school and have a meeting if necessary. The principal may invite school board staff and school staff as they deem necessary. Parent meeting to sign the form. After you gather information in preparation for completing the transition to school form, arrange to meet with parents to complete the form. If using a virtual platform, let the family know it's not being recorded. We are always being cognizant of a parent's privacy. Ensure the family is aware that this is a consent to the process. The process involves information gathering, including conversations and reports for all people indicated on the form. It could include a possible meeting, sharing meeting minutes, and follow-up as needed. Please see the guide to completing the form for further details. Complete the form together. You sign as the referral source. Save the form. You will receive a link to forward to the family for the family to sign. If the family does not have the technology to sign, write verbal permission given and submit on their behalf. If the family is signing, please ask them to press the submit button, and then the form will automatically upload to the school board or agency indicated. When the link no longer works, the form has been successfully submitted. If you provided your email on the form, you will receive a kickback email that will have a PDF of the form. This also lets you know that the form has been submitted. Before you begin, know the form. Ask yourself the following questions. What agencies are currently involved? Consent is for all agencies that are indicated on the form. A decision must be made regarding which school board before the form is ever completed. The only time where you would have two school boards is if one of those school boards is Kids Ability School. Ask the family, have they registered at their community school? If they have not, it's really going to slow down the process. Please encourage the family to register at their community school. Parent contact information. Please indicate the address that will be the primary residence on August 31st. For a family to register at the school, they will need to be able to show proof of residency. Developmental medical information to be shared. Consider how you would word this section to impart the severity and intensity of the concerns and needs. Refer to the criteria sheet for further information. Do you have reports or documents to share? have them ready. You will be submitting them when you submit this form. Gather the names, addresses of any current programs or therapy sessions, and the days and times of attendance. This is important information for the reader to be able to book times for observation. Gather the service history. Who were the contacts? Are there any reports? Can the reports be shared? Parents may not remember everyone. Be prepared. Do you have consent to speak to other agencies? If you do not, obtain the consent before completing the form. Is Kidsability School an option? If you don't know, please find out. We're going to break the form down into smaller chunks and review each piece. So the first part here is entering the child's name. Please use the child's legal name. Also include the parent guardian name. Select all agencies that are currently involved. Childcare can be included as an other. The first box is who you're obtaining consent for. The second box is who you are referring to. And remember, only one school board outside of Kidsability School may be selected. Select the year from the drop-down box. Choose the school board and the school. It's important that you choose correctly, as the child's form will be automatically uploaded to the school file as indicated. Please take a moment to make sure you have the correct school board and school. Add the child's contact information and family contact. If there are more than one address, please click the blue box to add a secondary family contact. This is an important area to briefly highlight the concerns. Think about the language to red flag the reader regarding the intensity and the severity of the concerns. Simply saying something like the child has autism is not enough information. But you don't need to put everything you know in this box. You will be sending along reports as well, but you may want to have a little more detail so that the receiver will have a good picture of who this child is. Documents can be easily uploaded. Click Upload, select File to be loaded, and double-click the file. A second document can be added by clicking the blue plus Add Document button, Enclosed button. You are the referral source. Type in your contact information. For services involved, click the drop-down to see and select options. Multiple agencies can be added by clicking the blue plus Add Agency button. Please be aware of Report to Share and Consent to Share. A report may be available, but you really need to ask parents if it is okay to share that report. Sometimes parents do not want to, so we really need to be very cognizant that you actually have the consent to share the report. Please select all that apply. Sign and date in the designated spot. If you are from KW Habilitation, Infant Child Development Program, or KW or Kidsability Autism Program, and Kidsability was selected in the first section of the form as being currently involved, please click Yes to send copy to Kidsability. They will need a copy for their files. If the LIN was selected, please click Yes to send a copy to the LIN. The referral source email is required to receive a confirmation that the form has been submitted. If the family would like an emailed copy, please include their email as well. Click Save to obtain a link to email to families to obtain their signature. Direct families to click Submit. And again, if the link continues to bring up the form, it has not been submitted, and please do so. Here's an example of a completed form. It's really not very different than the paper form, but will be more legible with the typing. Private and French schools. Follow the process as indicated with one exception. Forms for the private and French schools will need to be printed and sent to the principal by fax or by mail. Please follow your internal agency process for faxing or mailing. Can I submit a document after the form is submitted? Yes, you can. There's a separate link on the Special Needs Resourcing Collaborative website to do just that. If you're not the referral source, please check to ensure that consent has been submitted prior to submitting a report. The flow of process. Complete an online form. Send it to the family. The family will then sign and submit. The form will then automatically upload to the secure site as indicated. That can be a school board, the LIN, Kidsability, wherever you have indicated. The school or agency will receive an alert through an email. Then the designated staff will download the form from that secure site and then follow their internal processes. And that's it. If you have any questions, please contact a Transition to School Committee member. Thank you.